Hello. Good evening. Thank you for coming to LA LOUVER. Thank you for coming to this event. We are doing this in support of the two exhibitions in the gallery spaces. Hopefully you've gotten a chance to check those out. On the first floor, we have Ben Jackel, Rain of Fire. Ben is actually here. There he is. He looks good. He feels good. So it's a new body work, very timely as well. Is exhibition of Ed Kienholz and Nancy Kienholz's work on the second floor. Also very timely with the condition of the world these days, sadly. So we just thought it would be fitting to sort of have the art be in servitude to an evening of music and poetry. I want to thank Stephen Kalinich, the wonderful Stephen Kalinich. He is a local musician, poet, artist, wonderful person, great dresser, all of the above. So he's going to start us out with an evening of poetry, and then we're lucky enough to have the Divinity Band. They are a collective of musicians from kind of all over Los Angeles, from a variety of bands, and they're going to be doing an improvisational jam, and they've asked that you feel free to walk around the galleries and do whatever you feel led to do, to improvise the way that they are. So also wanted to thank Fort Point Brewing for offering so many great tasting beers on the evening. So thank you again to all for coming. If you have any questions, we have all the answers. So thanks a lot. Bye.
I'm very grateful to be able to speak at this event. The art is extremely powerful. And in the 60s, I did an album with Brian Wilson called A World of Peace Must Come. And it was reissued last year on Light in the Attic Records on vinyl. And even though it's back, what's happening in the world today, I want to read a little from that journal from 50 years ago because of what's going on in the world and in the country, and with these two powerful, very moving, very powerful shows. Since I became a poet, I'm 75 now, on my way to 76, but about 3 years ago I started painting and I found my life, and combining that with the protest, and I was very attracted to this gallery. So this is called I, the Poet, Write This Plea to My World, and I wrote it in, I think, 1968. When all the earth is crumbling and insanity runs rampant in the streets, when rape and murder fill our papers and our theaters, when men no longer care for other men, we need a poet's voice. When our lives no longer run the meter and the rhythm, when our hearts become as hardened as our steel, we need a poet's heart. When we abuse the gifts bestowed upon us, we are in need of poetic truth in simplicity. And I, the poet, write this plea to my world. I cry out for the natural man. Never was he more needed than in our time. He must cry out to a world torn with wars, with murders, a world torn with politics upside down, the dehumanization of man, a world in which men treat other men as pawns on a gigantic chessboard, as things that they can use for their own unnoble advantage. This age of the lust of power, this age of the ruthless destruction of the earth and the soil, an age when people are canned and manufactured like bottles, an age where people live in sterile skyscrapers where no one even knows their next door neighbor. I, the poet, say the natural man of this time must be the leader of his own life. He must take responsibility for it. He must find his place in nature. He's a creature of the soil. He depends upon it for his livelihood. He needs the earth in which to grow food. Yet he rapes the wilderness. He kills off leopards and rapidly vanishing beautiful species that inhabit the planet. As the natural man of our age searches within his soul for answers to the problems of our time, he will have to look to nature's heart. The man of our age has been an unnatural man. He has turned to perversion, exploitation, the acquisition of power, the submergence of all other living beings, existing only to fill his needs. If he can't hunt it, sell it, eat it, it has no value to him. I cry out for the value in every living form upon this earth. Man must see the tiny seashell, the dirt, the air he breathes as priceless forms of life, all necessary for his own survival. The unnatural man of our century has a quantity of goods, a mass of possessions, yet he is empty. He searches for harmony. He shoots drugs into his system. He tries to get high unnaturally. He tries to escape, but inevitably he must come to that final confrontation with nature. Will he live the harmony with nature? Will he become again a sane man? Will he slow down his reckless pursuit? Our hospitals are full of coronary victims, men having strokes and ulcers and women collapsing under the pressures of everyday life. I will have no part of these. His life must be balanced. He must see other men as parts of himself. He must see nature as something he must live with, not something he must overpower. I say we must stop and take a moment to reevaluate the very foundation, the very structure of our world. If we do not look to this natural man, this fresh approach, if we do not look to this child of nature who lives in harmony with other living beings, our very world is galloping toward an early extermination. I know there's a lot of good things in life, and that was written in the 60s, and we thought we were going to create world peace, Brian and I, and we didn't. And so I've continued to write songs and to do things, work with Brian May, with a lot of different people. But when I was in England a few years ago, I created something called the Galactic Symphonies, and still in theme with these things. And I was fortunate enough to get some good musicians to play with over there and some symphonies. So I'd like to do one of those for you. And I know some of it may sound heavy, but the show is calling forth to me. When I saw this show, I thought it'd be a perfect show that I would like to participate in, because these are, you look at the art, these are heavy things. People on the ground, people all over, and I wanted to make a statement. There's plenty of time to have fun and do other things, but I wanted to try and make a statement. This is called A Tale of Man. Never before in Galactic Span has been told the tale of man. Defies all bound, defies all space, upsets all theories, and in their place puts wisdom of the ancient race. Stories of creation thrown, of man who left his home from stars among the universe and found the earth alone, void of purpose, without form, cold, barren, uniform, no room to differentiate choice from predetermined fate, and save the world before it is too late. For mankind, since time has opened up its book for a solution to problems, and savagery and terrorism looks, and each age has the answer, and each age the road will pave. And all our undaunted saviors lead us to that same grave. So where can we find salvation? Can we discern from the movement of the tree within the quake the presence or the power through which earthly things take shape? Can we know from the pull of the planet and the stars the life within the atom? the life we know is ours? Did man in his greatest age, through every prophet and every sage, ever calm the unstoppable rage, the ruthless destruction, the war, the hate, the cheating, and the lies? Did anyone stop the horror through the earthly wise? Did anyone you know of teach the roses how to grow, show the harmony to maple leaves, teach the river's rhythmic flow? Or have you heard of any man of earthly fame claim to be the creator of his father's or his own name? Surely none can answer to the questions that we ask. Surely no mortal is equal to the task. Only something within, yet far beyond anything we see, could create beauty, to make things beautiful, create music for man to write a symphony. The principle of music comes before music. The principle of art comes before art. The laws and harmonies are existent, yet man must hear them in his heart. All our worldly knowledge, all libraries and all brains cannot in one instant heal all the world's pains. Love alone can heal. Love lived. Love alone can mend. Love alone can bind. Love alone gives life meaning. Love alone gives life anticipation of a greater time. I'm from New York. This is a little lighter. I wouldn't exactly call it a poem, but I recorded it with a bunch of people in Venice as kind of a joke. When I was about 60-something, I created a rap name called Stevie Nobody. And so this poem is called Everybody's Got a Car in LA, but it started out, I was sitting on the beach, and I just thought, and it starts out like, my name is Steven, but I'm not Steven Spielberg. My name is Steven, but I'm not Stephen King. I'm not Steve Martin. I'm not Stevie Nicks. I'm not Stevie anything. Stevie Nobody, they used to call me. I live in America, apartment C. I did all kind of things to contemplate my time. I contemplate the future with thoughts divine, origin and destiny, the theory of relativity. I travel far and wide, took in every countryside, and still could not discover the meaning of my life or find a lover. Everybody's got a car in L.A. Everybody's got a car in L.A. They can spot a Mercedes when it's going at 80, but they don't know who they are. In less than a minute, they can take it to the limit. They can take it all the way. They're cruise control lazy and car phone crazy, and that's the way it is in LA. That's right. Everybody's got a car. Sleep with them. Color them two-tone. They can talk to you when you feel alone. If you have a Rolls or a Subaru, if you're from Mars or Timbuktu, you can second gear down the boulevard. Drive them fast. Drive them hard. Run into we take. We can live love. We can bring peace. We can be kind. The little things we do each day to help someone, like drying tears with hands of love, can mean so much, can heal a wound. So each night before we go to sleep, think of the feelings we can touch with hope, the words of tenderness that we can speak to one in need. Think of the good that we can do through the days of life. Thank you very much. These are great. I'm really enjoying these musicians. Never before in Galactic Span has been told the tale of man. Defies all bound. Defies all space, upsets all theories, and in their place puts wisdom of the ancient race, stories of creation throne, of man who left his home from stars among the universe. And found the earth alone, without uniform, cold, barren. Uniform. No room to differentiate. Choice from predetermined fate and save the world before it is too late. For mankind, since time has opened up his book for solution to problems and savagery looks. And each age has the answer. Each age the road will pave, and all our undaunted saviors lead us to that same grave. So where can we find salvation? Where can we find salvation? Can we discern from the movement of the tree within the quake the presence or the power through which earthly things take shape? Can we know from the pull of the planet and the stars the life within the atom, the life we know is ours? Didn't man in his greatest age, through every prophet and every sage, ever calm the unstoppable rage, the ruthless destruction, the war, the hate, the cheating and the lies? Yeah. Did anyone you know of? Did anyone you know of stop the horror through the earthly wise? Now let's chill it down for a minute. Did anyone you know of teach the roses how to grow? Did anyone you know of teach the roses how to grow? Show the harmony to maple leaves. Teach the river's rhythmic flow. Or did any man you know of earthly fame claim to be the creator of his father's or her own name? No! Surely no one can answer to the questions that we ask. No mortal is equal to the task. Okay, jam it. No mortal is equal to the task. Only something far beyond anything we see could create beauty to make things beautiful. Create music for man to write a symphony. The principle of music. On the other side of death is life. And life is loving. And zombies who gather together in congregations and mass strangulations feel the bubble is bursting because their soul is thirsting. Thirsting for a touch of the hand. The magic hand. That with fingers finer than pure gold. Fingers not made of flesh or bone, but fingers that are all things. This magic hand echoes as a symbol in every land, that itself it is a part of every woman, every child, and every man. Go crazy. I'm a volcano ready to erupt. I scream in silent to the deaf and corrupt. I'm catatonic, on the brink, an emotional cripple who can't even think. Bottle up violence, anger repressed, unchained wild, I'm under such stress. Your words, they cut me, sharp as a knife. You rip my heart out. You rip my heart out, and that's what's left in my life. A tale of man. Black, black, black is black. Don't trip too far, you might not come back. Get on that beam, don't get off the track, or you'll turn to blackest black. Darkest holes in outer space, collided with the human race.
swaying, swirling endlessly, moving through galactic sea. Is there a place? Is there a place for you and me? Is there a place to be in all this lunacy? Politics are upside down. Donald Trump doesn't know what's going on. Everything's exploding. Everything's exploding. In the everyday world. In the everyday world. Thank you.